Hey everyone, welcome to Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now in this video, I'm going to discuss the newest Scream 5 mini trailer and some new killer scene images of Judy Hicks. Let's do it. So we are only days away from Scream 5 premiering on the night of January 13th, and we have yet another new mini trailer released by the studio. And this time we have some never before seen scenes of Judy Hicks. These images give us some more clues as to what could likely happen during the attack at the Hicks house that we have seen in prior trailers. Now, I have pulled together what I believe to be most all of the scene images we have of Judy Hicks from the trailer and various TV and ad spots they may have made. There could be one shot here or there that I missed, but nothing that would change the point of this video and what I'm going to outline. So, in an effort to create a possible order of events as they could occur in the Hicks home attack, I've assembled them together here for you. Now, there will, of course, be more scenes of Judy in the movie than just these scene images, unless she is the opening kill. But we did see a little image of her in her sheriff's outfit, probably, last week, that came out on the Scream Twitter feed. So that leads me to believe that we're going to see more footage of her, and having her be the opening kill would just be a waste of Judy Hicks. So don't think that's going to happen. So there will be more scene images of her in the movie. We don't know when she's going to die, of course. Could be at the end, could be towards the middle or the beginning. It could be anywhere. But the point is, this is not the only scene. However, all of the scenes that we have from the trailers have a common thread, and I want to show you why. We have solid evidence within the shots themselves to show that all of these images are really pieces of the same overall sequence in the movie. So let's get started. First up, we have this image of Judy walking from her home with a very happy look on her face and what looks to be a laptop bag or possibly a light gym bag that she's taking with her to her workout, perhaps. Now, could be that she has a change of clothes in that bag or even a nice new ghost face costume if the opportunity presents itself to slice and dice. Now, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Okay, next up, we see a very different Judy Hicks. Here, she's gone from that happier look to now being in tears and looks to be screaming or perhaps yelling at someone on her hands-free conversation in her police cruiser. My guess is that she's talking to Ghostface, he's calling her and threatening to kill Wes and demanding that she return home immediately or else Wes will be killed. Now that would certainly invoke such a response as we see here. And notice that she's still wearing her lavender windbreaker, so we know this is at the same timeline as the first image and not a shot from later in the movie. She still has it on. Now, she gets home, and for some reason that has yet to be revealed to us, her handgun must be in a place that she is unable to access it, because we see her here with a chef's knife, commonly misstated as a butcher's knife, and she is walking through her house on the hunt for Ghostface and likely looking for Wes as well. Here's a closer-up shot with the knife as she carefully looks around the corner before entering the room. Now, we are getting to some new scene images we have not seen before. Here, Judy is stepping further into the room, and we know it's the same room because of the yellow walls and the white doorway, which is a match to what we just saw a moment ago. Then, we know she goes outside because here we see her stepping back into the house and entering through the back door. And we know this is the back door of the house because the front door opens up, remember, to a porch and sidewalk leading to the street where we saw her earlier in the first image. In contrast to that, here we see bushes outside, which is probably along that back fence line for privacy. So she walked outside and we're presuming she saw nothing. So she came back in through the back door and she locks it. Then she turns around and we see Ghostface attacking in full force. Now, we know the fight does not end here because Judy and Ghostface both end up outdoors again, but this time they are together. The fight carries on until finally we see Judy on the ground with Ghostface towering over her with his knife held high. And then he drives it down with force. Now, we know this is Judy based on the long blonde hair, which rules out Wes as the person being attacked here. And also what looks to be more female-sized hands than we see in the images, or that we see in the images from this scene. But the hair is the biggest clue that we can say this is definitely Judy Hicks. So, after piecing these images together in the most systematic way that I could to create a timeline depicting the order of events of the sequence in the movie, I now have to say, what does this mean? I mean, Radio Silence chose to focus on this one sequence of the movie in the trailer and the TV ads for all of Judy Hicks' shots. And it looks like it's going to be obviously a very significant part of the storyline. So what does the footage mean? It seems to me that it most likely means one of two possibilities. Possibility number one is that Judy Hicks gets killed in this scene, and this is indeed our goodbye to Judy. This is going to be the scene where she is killed and eliminated from the movie. That's the first possibility. Or possibility number two, this is a fake out attack by Judy's accomplice or one of her accomplices, meant to throw off all suspicion of Judy because she is in fact the mastermind behind the murders in Scream 5, and the actual Ghostface killers are carrying out her plan. If I have a prediction, if Judy is not killed in this sequence and instead she ends up surviving, then there is a high possibility that she will end up being the mastermind behind all of the murders in Scream 5. Now, I discussed this on my last live stream, and how when you consider that she is the sheriff and has full access to any database she needs for information about anyone, and combine that with the fact that she connects all the way back to Scream 96 as a fellow student of Billy, Stu, Tatum, and Sydney, it makes for a perfect storm of mastermind material and potential. I think she is going to be highly sus again in this movie, just as she was in Scream 4. And if she survives this attack and makes it out alive, guys, we might be witnessing a classic, iconic fake out a la Billy Loomis with the fake stabbing by Stu. It's very possible. Now, it really all comes down to whether or not she survives this attack. Now, until we see what happens in that regard, we will continue to have uncertainty about Judy Hicks. However, based on these scene images, there's one thing we can be very certain of when we watch Scream 5. And that is this. Once we see Judy leave her house wearing that familiar outfit, we will know that things are about to get crazy. Now, normally I would ask you to start dropping your comments below so I can hear your opinions, thoughts, ideas, and theories. However, since we are in the final week leading up to Scream 5's release, and that the initial reviews have been dropped online, I have unfortunately disabled the comments for now, but I will return with comments back on the videos I post after I see the Scream 5 on the 14th of January. So, Unfortunately, you can't leave a comment, but one thing you could do is smash that thumbs up button right now. I would greatly appreciate it, and I do appreciate you guys watching. I would greatly miss our dialogue and engagement in the comments section. It's always such a blast, but it is temporary, and I'm doing it to protect you guys from getting spoilers and from myself as well. Well, that's it for this update, but I'll be back soon with more Scream and other horror movie content. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, this is Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thank you for watching.